it's all about preparation, really. You can't just take a magazine and just go change the world. Well, you can. You just might not change it in the way you're hoping, right? You want to change the world in a good way. Preparation. So really, if you really want to run the play and like start out with a bang like Chris just mentioned, 90 days turning 100 committed IBDs into 1,000. Yes, it's possible. I believe it will happen. Who believes that will happen? The 90 days, turning 100 of us into 1,000 for those that are committed. Identify the top 10 people you'll give a magazine to the first part of the week. Identify another 10 that you're going to give the magazine to on the second part of the week. And then identify another 10 that you're going to give the magazine to next week. This is not going to the mall and looking for suspects. I mean prospects. People that you would love to do one of two things. Become a client, or maybe join you in the business so they can create income, or both. This is not just about recruiting IBDs. A lot of the training that I'm going to be talking about for the next few minutes, it really is tailored to growing your team and thinking this can be a great recruiting tool for IBDs. But keep in mind also, this is an excellent recruiting tool for clients. What is 90% of the magazine's content? Real estate. Well, it's a perfect tool to recruit PSA sales. But it's also a perfect tool to recruit IBDs, because when you can give a possible IBD on your team an opportunity to look at the magazine and say, this is what we do, it's not us selling our potion or our pill or our juice drink. This is us sharing people an opportunity to create wealth through real estate. That resonates with people. Why is it important to be in a hurry? When I first heard this, like be in a hurry, it didn't resonate with me at all. Like that, no, and it sounds phony. In fact, I remember Matt Parks even said something like that. It just doesn't feel right to pretend I'm in a hurry. You don't need to pretend either, do you? You can actually time it so you could be in a hurry, but why be in a hurry? Especially if you're in face-to-face conversations or even over the phone, you'll find that you'll spend less time, you'll be shorter, you'll be more prompt, you won't be tempted to go into the details and throw up on them with information. And they'll respect you for your time. And you are respecting them for their time. Kind of something to think about. So if you're going to be in a hurry, how could you pitch it so it's not phony or fake or awkward? Well, you can come right out and say you don't have a lot of time to talk, but it's really important I reach you. You really could call someone a few minutes before you have an appointment. So you can say that and not be misleading. Something to think about if that worries you. I have a million things going on, but I'm glad I caught you, or I'm running out the door, but I needed to talk to you real quick. What about if you're talking to cold market, people that you really don't know yet? Well, now isn't the time to get into this, and I've got to go, or I have to run, but. In fact, it would have been a good opportunity at the gas pump today when that guy made a compliment to me, and the lady pumping gas next to me was looking at me and smiling, and I'm like, he knows me too well, I don't wear a tie much, and I'm doing a presentation in an hour, and that just cracked me up. And she goes, well, you look really sharp. And what could have I done at that point? I just told her I was making a presentation. I could have sat in her seat, closed the door, and talked to her because she couldn't drive off with me. No, I'm just kidding. I could have placed a magazine. Would have been a good opportunity. Opportunity missed. Compliment the prospect. Make sure your compliments are sincere. There's ways to do a sincere compliment, is there not? Yeah, you don't need to be doused with water when you compliment somebody. Here's some ideas. You know, for warm prospects, people you know, you've been wildly successful. I've always respected the way that you've done business. That's a compliment. If someone said that to me, I would have thought that's a nice thing to say. You've always been so supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Or you have an amazing mind for success and business. I can see, and you can see things that other people don't see. Would you mind taking a look at this? Help me out. So make the invitation. Well, there's a few ways to make an invitation. I love the direct approach, but I don't love it as much as something that's coming up. But one direct approach is for people you know, hey, if I told you there was a way to increase your cash flow without jeopardizing what you're doing right now, would you be interested? Or I've teamed up with a company that's opening or expanding in the Salt Lake area or in the Hawaii area, wherever you are. That's pretty direct. I found something exciting. You're one of the very first people I've called. Hey, when I thought of quality people that I'd really enjoy working with, I thought of you. Would you be open to hearing about what I'm doing? Nice way to introduce the magazine. For cold prospects, people that you don't know, do you plan on doing what you're doing now for the rest of your career? You can't get any more cold than a mannequin that won't talk to you, right? And I thought I had a very good market. I said, are you open to do opportunities? And he wasn't. He's just open to standing there. By the way, we were asked to leave Macy's. Sorry, Carolyn. She's like, oh. So that's what we do. How about an indirect approach? Don't be so direct, maybe do indirect. I like the indirect approach. It's a powerful tool. It helps people get past their initial resistance, but yet they can still understand the opportunity you're talking about. It's best used, obviously, when you're just getting started, and it's simply asking for help or guidance. I use this so much. Here's some examples. Maybe. There we go. For people you know, I have something that might interest you. Now's not the time to get into it, but. Or I'm thinking about getting started with a business I can run from my home. Would you help me check it out and see if it's for real? Here's one I really like. Is Melissa Terry here today? I forgot to find out if she is or not. I don't know if she is. Are her parents here? This was used by Melissa on her parents. Hey, I started a business and really need someone to help me poke holes in it. Nothing gets past you. Would you be willing to look at this for me? That is what Melissa did with her parents. It wasn't a marketing ploy. It was for real. They just came on board. She respects her parents and what they do with business. She asked her dad to come help poke holes in it. They signed up with PSAs. They were not a hard sell. And they've done their IBD business as well as buy homes. And it was this nice indirect approach. Well, there's indirect, and then there's super indirect. Super indirect are incredibly powerful. They play on different psychological levels. It is a networking approach that is actually something I use it with great success. I kind of call this the takeaway approach for myself when I'm thinking out loud. But it looks like, hey, this business I'm in probably isn't for you. But I wanted to ask you something. Who do you know that's ambitious, or who do you know that's open to new opportunities? Who do you know that's motivated, would be excited about an idea of adding more cash flow to their lives? What have I just done by using a super indirect approach? I'm actually cutting the barrier of maybe resistance down. Now, truly, they may be interested, but truly from my heart, I'm approaching them as if, this may not be for you, but I'd be very interested to know who do you know that this may be for, and they don't even know what it is I'm doing yet. But what may they ask? What is it you're doing? It's a good opportunity to get a magazine placed with them so they can see what it is you're doing, and referrals. Who do you know that's open to opportunities? More examples. Who do you know that might be looking for a strong business they could run from their home? Who do you know that has hit a wall with their business and might be looking for more opportunities? Maybe they want to diversify their income. So this step 4, if I blank, would you blank? That sounds like a loaded question. If I gave you a magazine that describes a business, would you read it? If I gave you a link to an online presentation, would you watch it? It's a common approach. You ask them, and they say yes. And if they say yes, great. Get their commitment. Step 5. Don't suggest a time when you can meet. This is like really important. Give them the magazine and ask the question, when would be a good time for me to get back with you? And if they say, I'll get to it sometime, don't let it stop there. Say, let's just cut to the chase so we can save us both some time. Tell me when would be a good time for me to call you so I can follow up with you. I just need to get your input. Is it better now to schedule your follow-up instead of just place a magazine and then wonder how you're going to follow up? This is, I think, the biggest key that is missing from IBDs that I've heard in the field using this magazine is I get them placed, it's super easy, but man, the follow-up is really a challenge. It's a real challenge. If they say they're going to read the magazine by Thursday morning, what would your response be? So, if I called you Thursday afternoon sometime, would you be sure that you have read it then and get them to say yes again? They say they'll have it read by, Tuesday night? So if I called you Wednesday morning, you'll have listened to it for sure, right? You'll have read it for sure, right? You're getting their commitment. You're getting their commitment, then you're getting the best number to call them at. So if I call you Wednesday night at 4 o'clock at this number, Wednesday night at 4 o'clock, that sounded good, afternoon. Now, they've said yes multiple times. That's psychologically important. They're committing to an appointment with you. They are the one committing to this appointment. You are just making sure it happens. You're not following up with them to see if you can get one. You've already got it set, and you haven't even left, and the magazine is in their hands. They haven't even looked at it yet, and you have a follow-up scheduled. The fortune's in the what? Yeah, that's pretty darn true. It really is. Have I missed fortunes? Yes, I have. The step after that is follow up at the appropriate time and then do the three-way call. If you can do it on your own, great. If you're still doing three-way calls, by the way, I still do three-way calls with people when I want to get another person's influence in instead of just my own with somebody. I'll use a three-way call. But there's a script in there for you to follow. I encourage you to read it. We'll kind of skip through it. But you set the three-way call, which leads you to getting them to come to, if they like what they've heard, right? And they said, no thanks, but no thanks. Or they said, yes, I'm interested. You move forward and you invite them to a presentation or to a grand opening or to one of the weekly events or to whatever event you get them to, or a one-on-one with you going over it with them in a flip chart, or whatever you can do to help them get to the requesting of a game plan. That is important. If they're not interested, it's okay. Thank them. Ask them when's a good time to come pick up the magazine. And then guess what you're going to do? It's okay if I just keep you up to date with what I'm doing in my business. They're going to usually say yes, and now you can put them on your drip list. And hopefully you're going to ask them for what? Referrals. Yes.